So any questions from the previous topics before we take up the new scenario? Any questions from the previous topics? Any questions from anyone? Have you done the hands-on? Everyone doing the hands-on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's great. When you completed the hands-on, please make sure to post that in the group. What is happening? This Windows 11 after updates is working weird. SDS class recording is already there. Already I have posted in the playlist. Have you verified the playlist? See in the playlist, yeah, YouTube playlist, I have posted the playlist. There you can see all the recordings. Please check back once again. And some of you, Aravind, is asking for the PPT. PPT is also there in the drive, Aravind. You have to go to the Git folder. Okay, let me show you. See, this is the folder you have got access to, right? Devops training. So here you have a Git folder. Okay, in this folder you have the presentation which I have used, the PPT. Okay, so you can go with the same. Similarly, playlist I have shared. I have shared the complete playlist. Okay, when you go to the playlist, you will see all the three recordings.
I just want that PPT that says that in our first class, right, what DevOps and things like that.
Okay, introductory class one, that will also be there. I think here you'll have something like overview. Okay, intro folder is not there. Okay, I'll add that PPT also. Fine, I'll add it.
Excuse me, Mama. I didn't get anything about this training material or something like that.
I'll share it soon, Shrikant. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So now let's go to our repository. Our repository is actually this Git demo on the desktop, right? This folder. So let me copy the path. Go to that folder. CD address. Now, yeah, this is our. So this is our files. You may also open it in the VS Code editor. Like I said, I would prefer using this. Okay, this is great one. So this is far better. I'll choose my folder here. Okay, this is much better. So yeah, fine. So yesterday we were talking about branches, right? And also I think we have created some branch. Let's say we have created the branch and also we have merged it, right? Yeah, we got the merge. We have seen a fast forward or smooth merge. This is what we did yesterday, right? So today let us take up another interesting scenario. Okay, so let's do one thing. Now I am on master branch. I'm already having 3 files here. I just want to make one more file. Okay, just go here and create another file, file4.txt. Okay, so I'm creating a new file created on master in our local repository, something like that. Yes, save it. So what should we do now? Git
Add and commit here.
Yes, add it and also commit it. Git commit -m. So all changes added, something like that. All changes. Okay, so done. Now if you see git status. Okay, it was all good. Fine. Now I have the 4th file in master branch. I have also got a new commit on master branch. Right, perfect. So now tell me, is this 4th file or is this like a 4th commit available on available on V1 branch?
No, ma'am.
No, it's on master.
No, yeah, obviously no. Let's check it out. Let's git checkout V1, switch the branch. So on this, see at the back end also it got switched in the Explorer. Okay, this is the Explorer where you can see the files. Yeah, we don't see file 4 anymore. Okay, fine, perfect. So let's suppose this master and B1 are parallel branches on parallel requirements we are working on. So whatever branch I make here, I mean, whatever changes I make here on B1, right, that should be, that is not visible on the other branch and vice versa. Let us do one thing. I'm not bothered about what changes are there on master, okay, because I just have my requirement to be done on B1. So I am creating here again the same file, file4.txt. Okay, let's say file created on B1, right? So yeah, now let us add it. Git add and git commit -m on B1. So done. I made some changes here. So again, everything should be good. Git status, it's clean. Now you can check the log of this. Git log one line. Okay, you can see 4 commits. Perfect. Okay, let's suppose I'm done. Okay, I have made some changes in V1. I'm done with my requirement. So I want to use it like a draft and merge these changes to master. So let's go to the master branch into which I want to merge git checkout master. So what is a command to integrate changes from one branch to another? How to integrate changes from one branch to another? Yes, what is the command?
Git merge.
Git merge the source branch with
Source and destination.
and the destination branch. So what happens now? Will it merge smoothly? What happens? What will happen now? Anyone? What happens now? Will it allow merging?
It will be a conflict.
Let us see what happens. Git merge B1 master. See? Conflict. Merge conflict in file 4. Automatic merging failed because Git is after all a tool. In the beginning, I told you, right? It allows multiple people working. It may be multiple people or you yourself are working parallelly, right? So it allows multiple people working, or else it allows you to work parallel. It will not override, or else it will not ignore. Rather, it will inform you. It is informing you, okay, there is a conflict. You have to fix the conflict. You have to resolve the conflict because Git is after all a tool. It can tell you, okay, there is a conflict. You have to take care of it. But it cannot decide, right, whether to keep B1 changes or whether to keep master changes. It's after all a tool. So as a person who created it should resolve it. But how to resolve? But and what is the reason for conflict first of all? Why do we got the conflict? What is the reason for it?
Because same file had was different data in 2 branches.
Huh?
Because there is no changes to commit.
Let us see. Let us understand what the reason for conflict before fixing, before resolving the conflict. Okay. See, generally people think it's a file name, you get a conflict. Of course, it's true to some extent, but not completely true. Okay, it means apart from file name, there is something else. So to let us understand what is happening at the backend thoroughly. See here, listen carefully. First of all, this is what happened. I have master branch, and here in this master branch, I have created index 4 and I have made a commit. Right? In a file 4 actually. Whatever it is, okay? Some commit ID generated, it is commit A. Okay, this is first step. This is what happened initially. Then later what we did, we went to B1 branch. Here also I made some file, which is file 4. Okay, and then made some commit here. First tell me, when I came here, is this commit A available on master? Is this commit A available on B1?
No, ma'am.
Not there. So we just created a file for and then made a commit called commit B. So if you check the log of commit, log of file 4, okay, checking a log of a specific file, yesterday I have shown you. So you can also check the log of a specific file. So if you notice the log of file 4 on B1 branch, this is the log of file 4. Simply commit B. That's all. Commit B. Similarly, if you check the log of file 4 on master branch, it is simply commit A. Correct? That's all. Only one commit in each. And yeah, this B commit is also not available on master. Not there. Right? So this is the scenario. This is first step. This is second step. Actually, I wrote first. It's a second step. Okay. So this is the second step. So done. The log history of B1 branch is B. The log history of a master branch is A. Now we are merging. What is the meaning of merge? What is meant by merging? Merge is bringing the changes of B1 branch to master. Bring the changes of, integrate changes from one branch to another. So this is source, this is destination. So merge means, like I said, it brings the changes of B1 and put it in master. Means in that case, what should happen? This box of B should come and sit here. Okay, but here the box means log. Okay, just imagine it's like a box. Okay, this will be still here. Means B should come and sit here. Means does it mean that whether it should override A or whether it should keep A and ignore B? What it should do? Git has a confusion. Git has a question. What should I do? Should I ignore B and put only A? Or should I put should I put B overwriting A? What should Git do? Git doesn't have a clarity. Git have a confusion. That's what a conflict. So it will report you, you have to fix it. So this is the reason for conflict. Means to summarize, what is the reason? Your source branch, if source branch is missing some commits that are there on destination. Source branch is missing the commits. Which commit is missing? Source branch is not having commit A. If it has got commit A, if the log of this one is instead of B, if it was simply A and B, then when you merge, yes, perfect. A and B would be sitting into master. Am I making sense? But commit A is missing on the source branch, which is there on destination. Hence, you get a conflict. Source branch is not having some commits which are there on destination. So, it cannot bring the changes and integrate them to master. Understood? That's the reason for conflict. It's the same file name and this is the reason. It's not just simply because of the file name. File name along with this. Because just people think that it's because file name you get a conflict. Let me show you another scenario without conflict. See, we have some other files, right? File 1. Okay, let's say there is a commit C. We made a branch then. So because you made a branch then, yes, you get a file C, this commit C also. Then the same file on B1, this is B1 branch. If I made some commit D and then if I try to merge, I don't get a conflict because C, whichever is destination, whichever is on destination is also on B1. CD will come and sit onto the master. Understood the reason for conflict? It's not just simply because of same file. Even though file is same, there might not be a conflict. This scenario you can try with file 1, file 2 because file 1, file 2 commits we got when we made a branch. Can you try doing it? The second part. Anyway, first of all, understood the reason for conflict?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So that's the reason for conflict. You can try file 1, okay, where we already have the commits into B1. Try making some changes on B1, then try to merge. Yesterday we did that only actually, isn't it? Of course, file 3, it's a different file. You can try with the same file. You will not get a conflict. So that's a reason for conflict. This is what happens at the back end. If you have clarity on what is happening in the backend, any issues coming up in the Git part, you can handle easily. Okay, now coming back here, yes. When you open the file in which you got a conflict in an editor, see file 4 is an editor, you got a conflict, it will show you like this. Accept the current change means only put the change of master. Accept incoming change means only put the changes from B1, or else you want to put both. It's up to you. You are the person who created it. Which changes to keep, only master changes or only B1 changes or both of them, you have to decide and edit the file like how you want to be. To see this kind of help regarding it, you can install some extensions on your VS Code editor. This is another advantage of using this editor. Go to extensions. Okay, here it is. I'm sorry, here. Okay, here on the left hand side, you can see the extensions. Here you can search for some Git extensions. Okay, and install some Git extension. Okay, that will help you with this kind of help, like to check the incoming changes and all. Okay, so you can go with that, right? So go to our Explorer. Now I want to keep both the changes. So let's say accept both. See, it's perfect. Save it. Okay.
Ma'am, where is the accept both option in the VS Code?
Come again, please.
In the VS Code, where is the accept both option?
Just now I have shown, right? I cannot undo it. Yeah. See here, accept current change, accept incoming change. Do you see the cursor?
Okay, yes, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can
Okay,
select whatever
okay,
you want. I want both of.
okay,
See, you will see
okay, got it.
kind of accept incoming changes. You can see this kind of help when you install some Git extensions on your VS Code editor. Okay, you have to install those plugins or extensions, then you will see this kind of help. So yeah, I want to accept both. So I just did this. Select it, you can accept it. Save it. Okay, whenever you modify a file, what should we do? What do we do? What should we do on our repository whenever we modify any changes?
Commit.
Yeah, I add and commit. That's what you have to do. Git commit -a -m changes added. Or else let's say conflicts resolved. Yeah, that's how you resolve. That's how you resolve the conflict. That's all. Conflicts resolved. Just you have to decide which changes to keep. That's nothing but resolving a conflict. Okay. Now check the status. Everything is clean and file 4 is having now 2 lines. Now let me ask you a question. What would be the content of the file 4 on B1 branch?
The original one, the one that was there before the merge in V1.
Yeah, B1 branch will have only its own changes because we didn't merge on B1, we merged on master. See here, we just got switched. See here at the back end, automatically it will be switched. It's having only one. If you check once again on master, it's very interesting, isn't it? So switch to master. See now file 4 is having both the lines. Right? So that is how Git works. This is how Git works. You can see that. Right? right? This is how branching and merging concepts work. Branching feature is very important. Generally, master branch will be used for production. We don't mess up or we don't make changes on master. We make changes on different other branches, and then if it is like working, then we merge it to master. When pipeline is creating, we'll talk more about this branching. Any questions in this branching concept? Am I clear for everyone?
Yes.
Now let us take up another interesting concept called um, stash. Stash. So what is the concept of stash? What is this stash? See, stash is nothing but, I'll explain theoretically, then we'll put it on to hands-on. See, suppose you are there in your working directory, you are making some changes in your working directory. Changes in working directory means unstaged. Okay, unstaged means not untracked. It's not a new file. File is already there in local repository and the staging area. But some new changes, modifications you are making. Those are called unstaged changes. Okay, fine. I'm making some unstaged means I'm making some changes. Work is going on. Work is still in progress. It's not yet completed. Work is happening. Then came a priority task from the manager. Okay, some very important task. Okay, priority task. So in this task, a priority task which I need to attend immediately, and this task is nothing but, okay, let's say work in progress is happening on file 1. So this priority task is some changes to be done file 3 and should move them to remote repository immediately. Some changes I have. Okay, I need to put this file 1 on hold and I need to go to file 3, make changes, push to remote. Okay, fine, I'm making changes on file 3, add and commit. But Git will be always prompting me about this file 1, like unstaged changes, please add and commit, isn't it? Until then, repository will not be clean. It will be always prompting me to add and commit this file 1. But I cannot add and commit because it's a halfway through, right? At the same time, I cannot discard because, like I said, I'm halfway done with the changes. So what should I do then? I want to put this file 1 on hold for some time. Okay, so how do you put that on hold? You can move this unstaged changes from the working directory to some temporary shelves. Okay, to some temporary shelves I can move them. This concept is called stash, moving your changes to some temporary shelves, which are virtual shelves. This concept of moving our unstaged changes to the temporary shelves is called stash. So then what happens? Yes, working B tree becomes clean. You can continue other works. You may be having a question. I can also continue without keeping the working tree clean. But it is always a best practice to keep the working tree clean. Okay, before you commit or before you push to remote or before you merge or you check out the branches, always make sure the repository is clean. That's a best practice. So until then, I can put this unstaged changes onto hold, which is stash. Okay, I have done with my priority task. I want to get my changes back. That's where you can do unstash. You can unstash. You can bring the changes back to the temporary shelves. I mean, from temporary shells to working directory and continue the work. So this is called stash, another advanced concept and very interesting concept in Git. Shall we proceed? Shall we have a look at this? How to stash, how to unstash, how to stash in different ways, right? How to unstash in multiple ways. Let's see. Understood theoretically. So let us have some hands on here. So yeah, let's check the status. Git status. So you can see on branch master, like nothing to commit, working tree is clean. right? Yeah, you can check the files. There are some bunch of files you have. Okay, let's check the log. Git log, one line. Okay, we have a bunch of commits. It's okay, fine. So now let us make some changes to file one. Okay, let's say, okay, work in progress, work is going on, something like that. I would also make modify some other file as well. Let's say bunch of files. Whether it is one file or multiple files, that's fine. So yes, I have got some unstaged changes. If you see git status, yes, unstaged changes. Not staged means unstaged changes I have. Okay, now, yeah, these are unstaged changes. I just want to keep the repository clean and put these unstaged changes on hold. I don't want to lose them. Okay, but I just want to put them on hold. So here now, as I want to put them on hold, you may check the status. It's showing unstaged. So let's stash, simply git stash command. See, saved working directory and state of work in progress to some other temperatures. Now check the status. See, it's clean. And if you see file 2, there is no second line. File 1 also no second line. Do you mean that they were gone? They were stashed, means they were kept on some temporary shelves. Here what you can do, you can just do git status. Okay, now git stash list. Every stash, whenever you do run the stash command, you will have a stash id generated. So you can do git show the stash number. It's not copied. Copy the stash number, git stash list, copy this. Okay, now git show the stash number. Yeah. So if you see the git show the stash number, you can see which files were stashed. Like you can see file 1 and then file 2 got stashed, right? So you can see what files were stashed. So if you want to unstash, how do you unstash? Again, do git stash list. Okay, then copy this to get the changes back. Git stash pop stash number. Okay, I'm repeating, it's git stash pop the stash number, means whatever changes were stashed will be brought back. So yeah, you can see here git stash pop stash number, changes were back. Do you see that? File 1, file 2 were added back, right? You can see also one more thing, whenever you do stash pop, it will unstash, also delete the changes from the stash. Do you see here, dropped the stash means deleted the stash. It will not be on temporary shells, means if you do stash list, it is also deleted from temporary shells. Got it? So yeah, you got the changes back. You can check it out with the status command. Git status. See, again unstated changes were back. You can see here also in the Explorer, you got the second line back. This is the concept of stash and unstash. Am I clear? Let me repeat it. I'm repeating once again. I just want to stash again. Just go here. I have unstated changes. I want to stash again. Git stash. Okay, now I have stashed. Repository should be clean. Okay, and git stash list. I got the stash number. To get the changes back, what should I do? Git stash pop stash number. So it will get the changes, also delete from temporary shells. There is also another way to unstash, which is stash apply. So what is the stash apply? See, whenever you do stash apply, right? It will unstash like pop does. But the difference is pop will delete from temporary shells, whereas apply will not delete from temporary shells. It will just keep a copy in the temporary shells. Okay, so you can see changes are not staged, right? Changes are back, but here at the bottom you don't see it is deleted, whereas for pop it will show you like deleted it. What does that mean exactly? Let me show. Git status, changes are back. Also there is a copy on the temporary shells when you see git stash list. Making sense, everyone? Understood the stash and unstash and the difference between pop and apply, everyone? Stash, pop, stash, apply. Clear with these two commands?
Yes, ma'am.
So stash list is showing you the. Now, yeah, you may be having a question. Why should we have a? Why should we do pop, and why should we do apply, or when should we do apply? Isn't it? Like, why should we have a copy on the temporary shells? It's because, see, whenever you are getting a changes, you get the changes into a current directory. Maybe suppose later on I want to continue this incomplete work. Maybe I want to continue this pending work in some other branch, right? Isn't it? Let's say I want to continue this incomplete work on B1. So you keep a copy on the temporary shells. You can unstash in that branch because these temporary shells is repository level. From any branch you can apply. So that's the importance of using stash apply. Okay. So git stash list you can see here. Right. And then let us do one more thing. When you do status, yes, changes are. But let's suppose, see, whenever I run git stash, whatever files are there, like file 1, file 2, both are getting stashed. Whatever unstaged changes are there, everything is getting stashed. But let's say I want to stash only a particular file. Is it possible? That's called partial stash, or else stashing a specific file. How to do that? Git stash file 1. Sorry, git stash minus p means partial stash. Let's say I just want to stash file 1. I just want to keep file 2 in the working directory only. Maybe I have to commit it. So git stash minus p is a partial stash. It will prompt on every file for yes or no. So depending on your input, it will stash or unstash. Means it will stash or it will not unstash. So it will not stash, I'm sorry. So just run this command. See, file 1 it is asking. Yes, it is to be stashed. Again, file 2. Do you see stash this hunk? Yes or no. Q means again small parts can be stashed. So you can also stash part of the changes, part of the lines kind of. Generally, we don't do that. Anyway, so we don't want this stash. And now if you run the status, see here, only one file is stashed. Do you see file 2 is still back? Right? So you can see stash list. There will be two stashes because earlier one is not yet deleted. So you can have multiple stashes. So whichever you want, you can unstash now. Let's suppose I just want to stash apply, means it will be there on the temporary shells. I just want this stash one. Okay, what says? Yeah, because locally you have got changes. Again, you may get a conflict and all because some changes were already there. Please commit changes. You are having some unstaged changes there, right? You can commit and then unstash. But that's how you can do a partial stash. Means stash a specific file as well. And git status. Okay, you can see file to them, right? And yeah, I just want to check the list, stash list. So if you want, you can commit this and unstash, or else suppose I just want to delete the stash. Git stash drop. I just want to delete some stash. Whatever stashes you want to delete, git stash drop. Right? You can see the stash list now. It is deleted. It is dropped. What is the difference between drop and pop? Can I ask you, what is the difference between stash pop and stash drop? Anyone, if you are listening carefully and understood what is stash pop and stash drop?
Stash pop will apply the changes. Stash
It
drop
will
will
unstash,
delete.
isn't it?
Yeah, unstash the changes.
Yeah, unstash, and also it will delete from temporary cell, stash pop. Whereas drop, what drop does?
It will only delete the
Exactly. It will not do unstash. It will only delete from the temporary shells. So that kind of understanding you should have. Suppose I just want to clear everything, not each one using drop, stash clear. So when you see stash list, you don't have anything. Got the concept and the commands? Do you want me to summarize? Shall we summarize this? Partial stash, unstashing, deleting, stash pop should be there. Give me 1 second. Stash pop. Okay, pop is also here. Yes. So stash pop, stash apply, stash drop, stash clear. Anyway, stash command is clear, right? Ah, yeah, stash p. Yes. Okay, now let us analyze what each command does. See here. What does this pop command will do? Stash pop. It will unstash. Unstash means you know what is unstash, right? I believe you all know what is unstash. Bring the changes from temporary shelves. It will unstash plus it will unstash plus delete from temporary shelves. Right? That is what is uh, stash pop does it. Okay. And what stash apply does, this also does the same. It will unstash, but it will not delete from the temporary shells. It will just have a copy there, right? And this one is to stash, that's called partial stash or stashing a specific file. Okay. And a drop will just delete from temporary shells. It will not unstash. Okay. Stash clear means delete all the stashes from temporary shells. Right? Anyway, you know what is stash. What is unstash? From temporary shelves to working directory. That is unstash. Stash means the reverse. Now is it clear? Just go through them, read them once from your end. Let me know any questions, any confusions. Should I repeat anything? Let me know. If it is clear, please confirm me with yes through the chat, or you can unmute and speak out if there is anything.
Yes,
Yes,
PPT,
ma'am.
it's clear.
Okay, there are some questions
That's clear.
from stage. Huh? Tell me please, someone who was speaking. There are some questions from Teja. Let me read out. First question is there a partial pop or apply from one whole big stash list? No. When you do unstash, you cannot unstash in parts. You put the stash number, entire stash number, whatever you give will be unstashed. And the second question is how to pick between Git stashing and Git ignore when I want to keep a work aside. Yeah, this is again the question people will have confusion with. Can anyone try answering it? Why are we stashing? We can ignore. What is the difference between ignore and what is the difference between ignore and stash? Can any?
Ignore will not track the changes, but stash will like save the changes in temporary.
Okay. See, ignore means it will ignore the entire file. Means the file will be completely ignored. It will not be tracking at all. But here file 1 or file 2 are still getting tracked. Do you see that? Only certain changes are kept on hold. Understood? So not the entire file is getting ignored here. Only certain changes of them are getting ignored. That's all. Ignore means if you put in like file 2, the entire file will be ignored. Whatever changes you make, it will not ignore, it will not track it. But here it is not ignoring it. Still file 1 and file 2 are being tracked. You can check the status. Okay, file 1, file 2 are still there in the local repository. When you do ignore, it will not be there in the local repository. Git status. Okay, see file 2 is still being tracked. Whereas ignore, it completely ignores the file. Hope you got it. Then the next question is stash doesn't have any effect to staged changes. Staged changes, no. It is about unstaged changes, not also untracked changes, only unstaged changes. What is the difference between untracked and unstaged? Untracked and unstaged changes. Anyone, can you differentiate between yesterday previous classes I have explained this time? Unstaged and untracked changes.
Untracked is something JIT is not aware of or not being added.
Untracked means.
Untracked,
Okay, tell me.
untracked means it is still in the working directory, and unstaged means it's not yet committed. It's in staging area.
No, unstaged means also in the working directory only. Unstaged, not staged.
So untracked means it's a new file, and unstaged means there is a change in this file.
Exactly. Untracked means it's for new file it will show you. Okay, whereas unstaged means it's not a new file. File is already there in the staging area and the local repository, but some modifications are there. That is called unstaged, not staged changes. Both are in the working directory only. Got it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear.
Git stash is applicable for which changes? Untracked or unstaged?
Unstaged.
Unstaged only, not for untracked. But if you want to do for untracked also, there is some option, git stash -u. So that you can also stash untracked changes. Otherwise, if you just simply do git stash, it's for unstaged changes. Understood? Everyone? See, this kind of clarity you should have. Just not learning it, going away, just learn the commands. No. What is happening at the back end? You need to learn it with clarity to the core. Then only you can sustain in the projects. You can clear your interviews. You will gain confidence if you learn this way. Learn it thoroughly. Means what I mean is after learning, like after discussing, after doing some hands-on, you analyze the things from your end. You try to differentiate. You need to know, okay, what is the difference between untracked? What is the difference between unstaged and untracked? What is the difference between drop and clear? What is the difference between drop and pop? Just doing the hands-on and don't move away. Analyze those things. You should analyze from your end. You should analyze the differences. You should have clarity on each part, each point. So yes, that is about the stash. It is again very interesting concept. Okay, you may try different scenarios here. Okay, there might be merge also during stash, but you don't need to go to that extent of complexity. That's not at all used. So whatever we are learning, this is quite more than enough. So that's about stash. So what are the things we discussed today? Branching, merging with conflicts, right? Resolving the conflicts. That's what we discussed. And then we have discussed the stash concept. And then we have the next advanced concept called rebase. Rebase is another advanced concept in Git. That's a game I have with this keyboard. Okay, so rebase is the next concept, but and then after rebase we'll be working with remote repositories like GitHub. Okay, where we didn't go to remote yet. I'm reminding again, we are still working on local. What do you do on remote? What are the changes we have to do on remote and all we have to do? So then we'll talk about the concept of rebase. Those two concepts are there. Of course, again on remote we have different things. We'll do rebase on, and one more important thing is today we have seen conflicts on local repository. We will also get conflicts on remote repositories. The concept is same. Again, the reason is same why you get a conflict. But again, we'll also look into that, like how you resolve it, how you get a conflict on remote also. We'll see. So these are the main concepts we have for Git: rebase, remote repositories, again conflicts on remote repositories, right? So we'll first try to understand rebase concepts before we go for the next part. Let's talk about rebase now. What is this rebase? See, rebase is also, first of all, you should understand rebase is also kind of merge. Okay, so but what is the difference? Let's see. Suppose see I have a master branch. There were some commits like commit A, commit B. Then I have made a branch B1 from this master. Okay, it's like a parallel development. So I made a branch B1 from master. So I got a branch from this master. So I have got here commit A and then commit B. Okay, so I just got a branch created. Fine. Then after the words, from then onwards, we are just developing parallelly. Some commit C on master, some commit D on B1 and so on. Parallelly, development is going on in both the branches. Now, I want to integrate changes from master to B1. So what is that called as? Integrating changes from one branch to another. What is that called as?
Merge.
That's all. It's called simply merge. So, okay, I'll merge from master to B1. So, okay, after merge, what would be the commit history of B1? You might have noticed or not, whenever you commit a new commit, whenever you merge, a new commit ID will be added over the destination branch. This might be the same ID. This might be the same ID, like C if there are no conflicts, or else it might be a different ID if there is a conflict. But whatever it is, a new commit ID will be added in the topmost branch. Just notice it, okay? When you are doing hands-on, notice it. But let's say I don't want this. I don't want a new commit ID to be added into the current branch. Rather, what I want to integrate. Yeah, I want to integrate the changes. Concept functionality was same. Yes, I want to get the changes from master to B1 branch, but I want the commit history or the log history should be in such a way that the log history should be commit A, commit B, commit C, and then commit D. Means the C commit should come and sit in between B and D. Okay, why between B and D? Why not somewhere else? Because it should look like as though I have created a branch at commit C. See, if I have created a new branch at commit C, what would be the log history? A, B, C, and then D, isn't it? I just want that kind. Means I want to see a linear log history. Linear means first parent commits A, B, C from parent branch, D from the child branch. Parent means from where you created a branch. Parent, child. Linear development. If I want to see linear development means you develop on one branch, then you go to the next branch. So you develop first on parent, then on the child. But actually development is happening parallelly. Means this is the log history A, B, D, X. It was developing on master, then in child, then in master, and so on. Parallelly development is happening. But if you want to see this kind of linear log history, that's called as rebase. Functionality wise same, it is also kind of merge, but rebase will rewrite the log history. Understood? You may be having a question, why should we have a linear log history? Maybe in some projects at a later point of time, if you just want to see the log history and understand what is happening, yes, you want to see this kind of log history. Like first the parent commits, then the child commits, and so on. Right? So that's called rebase. See, first parent commits. First all the parent commits arranged as per the timestamp. Then again all the child commits are arranged as per the timestamp. Kindly ignore the spelling mistakes. I have problem with the keyboard. Kindly ignore them. Am I clear with the concept theoretically? Shall I repeat for more clarity? Should I repeat this?
Yes, Priti.
Shall I repeat? Okay. See, first we are having a master branch. There are commits A and B. Then I made a branch B1. So obviously I got this commit A, commit B here. Okay, then later on parallelly development is happening. Okay, so I made some commit C on master. Then on B1 we made a commit A. So later on I want to merge it. Okay, I want to merge means integrate changes from master to B1. So when you merge, what happens? Yes, commit C will come into the B1 branch. But what happens is whenever you merge, a new commit ID will be added to the destination branch. ID may be same, means it might be C if there are no conflicts, or else the ID may be something else if there are conflicts. But whatever kind of merge it is, whether it is automatic merge or whether it is a merge with a conflict, a new commit ID will be added into the destination branch, and finally your log history will look like this. These are from parent. These are from parent branch. This is from child branch. Again, this is from parent. Means it will show you parallel development. Log history tells you, okay, development is parallel. Some commits from master, then child, again master, and so on. But if you want to merge, but still get a log history re-return, that is what is rebase. Means again you get the changes of commit C into this B1, but log history would be in this way. Like A, B, C, and then D. Okay, means they were rearranged. C from master branch will come and sit in between B and D, because that's how first parent changes, then child commits, you can see. Again, conceptually same. It's merging. It's bringing changes of C and putting into B1 branch. But it will not add a topmost commit ID, because it's unnecessary to have a new commit ID, right? Just because you are merging. Rather, the commit should come and sit in here. That is what is rebase. Means simple words. Rebase is also a kind of merge. It will do whatever merge does. But what is the difference then? The difference is it will rearrange the log history. It will rearrange the commit history. How it will rearrange? First, it will put all the parent commits. Then it will put all the child commits. Means first parent child means, okay, first parent branch is developed. Then child branch is developed. Means it shows as though development is happening linearly, so that you can easily understand the commit history, you can easily understand the project, which changes are coming from where. Am I clear? Got it now? Still didn't understand keeping silence means understood or no?
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you, Teja and Arvind, for confirming. How about other people?
Yes, it's clear. Preeti.
Okay, thank you. So this is about rebase. We'll do hands-on, don't worry. Okay, we'll revise and also we'll do the hands-on and again we'll summarize. So until then, like till you get a clarity, we'll work on it. So this is about the rebase. Like I said, yeah, it's an advanced concept. Okay, again, beginners are warned again is this. We don't generally do rebase. And this rebase, whenever doing, there's a thumb rule. Rebase should be done to local branches. The kind of rebase I'm talking about should be done on local branches. Local branches means it's not yet shared to public. It's not yet shared to others. Okay, it's only confined for yourself. You rebase, because if you rebase public branches, if you push, the log history may be messed up. So rebase the local branches. That's a thumb rule you have. And there is also other way of rebase, how you do on remote. Okay, we'll talk about them also. Yeah, we'll discuss that also. We'll do first hands-on on this, and then we shall also do rebase on remote. So this is about rebase theoretically. So we shall take up this hands-on in the next class. Okay, it's all advanced part. Let's not put more. Also, there are new joinees today. So let's stop here and we'll continue from here from Monday. And by the way, Monday's class will start from half an hour before, like 7:30 a.m. on request of the majority of the students. We'll start 30 minutes before. Anyway, I'll put that also in the group. Next session will be on Monday morning. Meanwhile, check your access to Google Drive, check your access to videos, and start doing hands-on. Whoever didn't get the access, let me know in the personal window. Okay, and sort out the login, the access, and start doing the hands-on before we begin the next class. All right then. Shall we close here? Right. Bye everyone. Have a great day. See you all.